Hello everybody, this is Bitcoin Macro, and on this video guys I'm gonna talk about AMP. So AMP is a new digital collateral token that offers instant verifiable collateralization for any kind of value transfer. So essentially AMP is the collateral that is being used to secure transactions and build networks like the Flexa network. Okay, so Flexa is an instant payment network, so it's something different from AMP. AMP is just the token that is used on that network. And in the past, AMP, and that's what has to be clarified, was named Flexa coin. Now this has been rebranded into AMP. I don't know if anything else changed along with it, but as far as I know, there hasn't been any key difference. It's just a differentiation between the token and the actual network. So one thing I would urge people to take notice is the fact that AMP on Bitfinex is something totally different. This is not the actual token. AMP on Bitfinex is just an old token as far as I remember. I don't know if it's something else, but it was named Synergy. I can't remember what the actual name of that token was back in the day, because it was also rebranded. I'm surprised it's still trading on Bitfinex and it hasn't been delisted, but I'm just letting you know guys that just in case somebody thinks that this is the AMP token, just letting you know that this is not the real one. So the real one guys is trading on several exchanges. Its market cap is about $2.6 billion. And it's listed on Gemini, which is pretty much the largest exchange. In the past, it was listed on Bittrex and Poloniex, which were the largest ones. Recently, a Gate listed AMP as well, and it's also listed on several decentralized exchanges. But it's surprising that such a large token hasn't been listed on larger exchanges, and up until now, its volume has been relatively low. And even the order books are relatively weak, and even the ones on decentralized exchanges like Balancer, Bancor and Uniswap are pretty much larger than any of the other exchanges. Of course, Bittrex and Poloniex are not back in those glory days of 2017, 2016 and even 2018. So right now they're not as important. So Gemini is definitely much more important than all the rest combined, at least the decentralized ones. However, the fact that AMP is listed on Gemini, it tells me that it could potentially get listed on more exchanges, because when the coin is listed on Gemini, that's pretty much a stamp of approval from regulators and stuff like that. So it's definitely a big step. So if I would try and watch the price, at least versus Bitcoin, because again, versus USD, it's pretty much at all-time highs. Excuse me, that's my mistake. It's BTC. So if I look on Bittrex, you can see that it has some extra history from the time it was named Flexa coin, but it had some extra history, which I'm going to show you guys fairly soon, okay? But the main thing I would want you guys to keep is that it's above the summer highs after essentially sweeping or just coming as low as to the February of 2020 lows, and it's been going up very, very nicely. So rather than having that abrupt bump and just fade afterwards, just dump, it's been going up very, very nicely. So when something is sitting above an all-time high, and while it has retested this high several times, I do believe there is more upside. Now, for example, on Poloniex, there's also an issue because this is not the actual token right here. You can see that massive dump from a coin that was listed on Poloniex and got delisted from there from 2018. There has to be some sort of misunderstanding or some sort of issue, because this is not the actual token. Okay, this is not it. Definitely not it. Now, if I'm mistaken, just let me know, guys, because you just never know. Maybe I got it wrong. So when we look at the AMP token on, let's say, the coin market cap data on CoinTrader Pro, you can see already, guys, that this chart isn't working very well, because I'm looking at Flexa coin, which is the one before AMP. because if I, let's say, look at AMP, then the picture that we get is just a very, very short-term one. I don't get the full chart of the coin, even though I could look at Coin Paprika or I could look at Coin Market Cap. It still doesn't give me the full history. So what would I do? Go flexa coin. I'm surprised they actually still have the data for this one. But the key thing to notice is that right here, that high from 2019 was at 124 satoshis, or 125, about that area. And right now AMP is at 123. So again, if I look, let's say, on the Bittrex chart, we can see that we're both above the high of September 2020, but also above or near the high, almost at the same high as April 2019 versus Bitcoin. So essentially, our chart is looking something like this, guys. And whenever we have something that's like that, or maybe a little higher, I should say, at 125, let's be accurate. If we assume that this was actually the chart from back then this essentially means that we have broken a triple or quadruple top, because we've tested this area several times here. We can see a few shadows back then. We can also see a few shadows here as well. So now that the price is breaking above 120, 125, if it keeps going higher, because it actually made a new all-time high versus Bitcoin as well as the US dollar, it could have a very, very explosive move to the upside. Now, if I look at AMP versus the US dollar, we can already see we've been going up nicely. We had that nice retest of the previous high, still very, very clean uptrend. And in my opinion, it could just fly from here. Okay, maybe we do chop in this area for a little bit, maybe because Bitcoin doesn't do well, maybe because Ethereum still is a show, because it's all about Ethereum right now, or at least most of the money is running into Ethereum at the moment. So until the Ethereum rally stops, maybe takes a bit of a backseat. But in my opinion, it could do very, very well, because again, when we have such a formation where the market was going essentially sideways, because again, it's hard to look at these things alone. Unfortunately, we don't get very clean charts. Clearly, the price is not here, but I'm surprised they actually have the data, which are actually helpful, because I wanted to be sure where was the previous high back in 2019. And when I know that a triple top is being broken like this from such a massive accumulation zone, because again, even if it's not perfect, it's still pretty close to reality. So if I would just draw this, oops, let's assume it's something like that. It could be seen that, you know, maybe we would go up like this. Of course, this is not a very clean picture, but it's still massive sideways movement from here, massive accumulation range. And the fact that these highs are getting broken, that tells me at least a 2 or 3x from here could follow pretty soon. So that's all I want to say about AMP, guys. Hope you enjoyed this video. Please remember, like, subscribe, share, leave a comment down below. Please follow me on Twitter, Telegram, or TradingView for quick updates, because again, it's harder to make those videos rather than share some simple ideas, a tweet, or just upload the chart on TradingView. So once again, guys, thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.